Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Library Show. Amen. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's get a sip. I got lemon, seltzer water, good enough. Now that got me going. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Bitcoin taking a bit of a dump here on the Monday morning. Let's take a look at what's happening here for BTC. Shout out to everyone on the live. Thank you for jumping on in, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. My name's Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer. Welcome. Did you work out today? Did you get yourself going? Did you get the endorphins pumping so you could feel clear and beautiful about your day? Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being absolutely amazing. We're here at 10 o'clock every single day, so you can't act like, hey, where was the lifer? I didn't know you were going to be live. We have not missed a 10 a.m. in a long time. We missed one 10 a.m., I think, when we were in like Singapore or something, but it happens when I travel. But I think we missed one or two 10 a.m. live streams in years and years. Shout out to everyone here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. 544 people. Where the heck are the lifers? That's weird. That's like the lowest viewership I've ever seen. But anyway, dear Lord, thank you for everything you've given me. Thank you for the blessings and what you've brought into my life. And thank you for the ability to bring all these beautiful people here on the stream. I'm blessed for whoever I do have. I'll always be grateful for whatever's been given to me. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Let's get people going. Let's go, baby. Let's go. 90,250 for Bitcoin. What's happening? Bitcoin collapsing. I took profits earlier this morning on 2 trades because it didn't look amazing. Looked like the rising wedge could lose the 5-minute 200 moving average and take a dump to the downside. I warned and cautioned my trading group. I said, be careful. If the 5-minute loses the 200, we will get pretty much a dump right back down to this yellow line at 90,318. And that's exactly what happened, right? The clan is here. Calm, Sam. Where? I don't see everybody. I really don't. I don't. Where is everybody? We start the stream with 500 people. That's weird. It's just an off number. Usually there's 1,000 people when we start this stream. But hey, let's keep it moving. I am sweating profusely. I feel like I need a towel. Into my shower, and what I did is I left the window open because I felt like it was cool, but I guess it's humid, and so the room got filled with humidity, and now I am just profusely sweating. It is what it is. The audio stream current bit rate, why does it do that when there's no reason? Anyway, today looks like it's going to be a tough day for my human body. It is what it is. I'm a human. Every 1,000 days, sometimes it just doesn't go perfectly right in this body. So Bitcoin broke down. And, Monday mornings are horrible. I always tell myself, do not overtrade Mondays. They are nasty, nasty days. And we lost the 200 moving average, come back down. We're going to take a look at the bigger picture. But dang, man, you needed that to break out. But it was a bit sketchy. So let's take a look at our monthly chart and break it down. So right now you're in 2 fences. You're convinced we're actually going to go where there's 3 fences. You have no idea what's going to happen. You believe that this is the beginning of the next big rally and that there's no such thing as bear markets or Bitcoin cycles. Or you believe we're headed into we've already begun a bear market and we're headed lower. Like, those are kind of like, I'm in the middle. I still don't know exactly what's going to happen. I don't. I really don't. If I said we're going to go dump for sure, then I'm going to open up a short and get liquidated if we pump. If I said we're going to pump for sure, I'm going to open up a long and get liquidated if we dump. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. But what I will tell you is every single time I've bought spot Bitcoin, and that's why most of my money has come from buying spot Bitcoin and waiting years. That's not sexy. No one wants to hear that story. They don't want to hear that it took, 10 years to make $1 million. They want to make $1 million tomorrow. But the person that makes $1 million pretty fast can also lose it pretty fast. The person that makes $1 million in a long span of time is likely to keep it. Those are just facts over time produced by probability. So my whole thing is this. Fine, it took me a long time. I was 37 to make my first mil. It took me a long time. I wasn't one of these 25-year-old multimillionaires you see on Instagram buying supercars. You know what I mean? I bought my first supercar at 42 years old. It took a while. It was my, it was my midlife crisis. Like the joke, But so anyway, the Fear and Greed got to 10 at 11. That area is so amazing. I just can't believe it. And that is a beautiful buy zone here, in my humble opinion, for BTC. 20 is like a sweet sauce compared to that down there. So anyway, maybe we go lower. I don't know. But every single time I bought 10 and 11, I did benefit from it. And we may not get 10, 11 ever again there at $78,000, $79,000 BTC. The monthly candle keeps going. It was green, looked like it was going to close green, came back to red, flipped to green. Now it's an indecision doji. Only time will tell. We have a lot of time left in the month, about 23 days. But we do look at the monthly every single day here on the channel. The 2-week chart, as I proposed, is closed at tweezer bottom. The last time we closed the tweezer bottom for the 2-week, right here we had a pump. Right here we had a pump. Right there we had a pump. Right there. Every single time we've closed a green candle next to a red one on the 2-week chart, we have had a reversal right there. That one wasn't an engulfing, so no. But I guess the other one isn't either. That one created a little pump. That one created a pump. Only one time didn't create a pump right there. You see? Even that one, it was green, and at least we got a pump after that. We got a pump, we got a pump, we got a pump. So this is like a 90% accurate signal. Whenever you get a green, and it doesn't mean you're going to go all the way up. It means you'll get to probably resistance. So it says 100,009 is likely. So that's what the 2-week chart's telling us. Most people aren't focused on the 2-week chart. They're not even talking about it. They're not even mentioning it. You won't even hear about it on most channels in this entire industry. So I'm probably one of the only people that talks about that. I might be the only guy. There's got to be someone out there, because I don't know, but I don't watch TA. But I'm probably one of the only people that talks about the 2-week chart. All right? It doesn't happen. And it has a lot of information that if you backtest it and spend some good time with it, you'd be really surprised of how the 2-week chart could really change your life. So mess with the bulls and you get the horns. Somebody said, oof. Sounds scary. Sounds super scary. Shout out to the 885 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for jumping on in. Let's go. Let's go. Hit the like button. Only you, Sammy, baby. Hey, good luck. Nice to see someone in the age even thinking about investing. Hey, young people can change their lives. The herd thinks liquidity is back, but the truth is liquidity is tightening up. So we're going to have a massive dump. Just wait and watch. Cherry City Bullies talks as if he knows exactly what's happening. I actually see the opposite. I see more liquidity flowing into the market. I see the Fed actually starting to open up and create quantitative easing. So it's interesting. On my channels, I've seen the expansion of liquidity. Yeah. But that's me. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Yeah. USD, Japanese yen. We talked about that. Because that carry trade's over. Yeah. So right now, the weekly has a support where the tweezer bottoms have closed right there. The second a candle closes below that, you have to assume you're going to 86 and then down to $71,000. Really strong. We got to hold these key levels. The weekly closed an indecision doji, but at least it wasn't red, right? At least it did close somewhat green. We'll see what happens, but that's, I don't know, man. It's pretty nasty. Pretty strange. Not amazing. And then the 5-day chart, which is still green, but to me, you got to start thinking this is turning into a bear flag that's likely going further to the downside. Whenever you don't make a trend, the trend's your friend, and then you continue in the same trend, that's a down. That's to the downside, my friends. 56,000. You don't want to miss the stream. Shout out to everyone jumping on in. You do not want to come into the stream late like this at 10:19. I guess maybe I was late 1 or 2 days, but that's very rare. You're gonna miss a lot of sauce from 10:10 to 10:20. You don't want to be coming in late. Shout out to all my late comers, but show up at 10:10, please. You're going to have to go back, miss it, then you're going to miss what I'm doing. You might even miss the entry to a live trade. Like, there's so much going on that you don't want to miss the stream. You got to stay on. Even I don't want to miss the stream. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know we're going to put 10 years of TA and 20 years of trading from our subconscious mind into what's happening now. We're going to see something that most people in the world cannot see. I know that for a fact. So, yeah. HNS forming on the 15. Thoughts? We'll get there. Yeah, we'll get there. We're not there yet. There's no point to talk about the 15 just yet. 5-day chart still looks to me like it could be forming a bear flag. Maybe it gets a move up and turns it into an inverted head and shoulder. That's your possibility. But it's more likely it goes sideways, meets the 21, and then rolls down to 56,000. 56,000 would be the target. I'm not saying that's guaranteed, and I'm not in a short right now. I'm showing you that if we basically, this is the 5-day, right? So if in 15 to 20 days we're still sideways, we're likely going to dump, okay? So just be ready for that. Have that in the back of your mind. Attempt to keep the bigger time frames in your head and the smaller time frames so you don't get too overwhelmed by price action on the day-to-day. The 3-day chart, my favorite, still above the 200 moving average. I stay long until we get back below that. As long as we stay above this yellow line, there's a chance Bitcoin does make a massive bounce to the upside. However, I'm on the camp because I'm a trend guy and the trend is to the downside that the trend will continue down. As much as I'm a bull and I want things to pump, I'm a realist. Right now we're in a downtrend, right? A down trend. Like, you got to get back above 101 there. Really, you have to get back above 101, 100. See that? You get above that, you'll use that as support, and you could definitely come to 117. And once you're at 117, the bulls are going to be freaking out. The bears are going to be freaking out. There's going to be talking of all-time highs, and it's the whole entire narrative will change. So, but again, and then there's some resistance right there at 95,000. See? A little bit right there. So right now we're dealing with 92,000 resistance. We got to get to 95. You see how that works? Clear as day on the 3-day chart. And then here we are on the daily, which has been so strange. Very, and again, to me, you could connect these two, and then you can connect kind of this bottom trend line. You'd almost have to use the wick there that touched, even though I don't want to. I'm not into using wicks, but really nothing else I can do here. And to me, it does look like it's a bear flag just, floating around, getting ready for consolidation. Flip it upside down. I mean, we've seen this many times. You break above the 200, then you consolidate, and then you move further, right, to 60,000. So this is a possibility. I'm sorry, friends. It definitely is on the radar. That's why the smartest move for me personally, trade the 3-day chart and the 200 because I love it and I've backtested it. But that's a separate world. You backtest the 3-day, you keep the 3-day, you trade the 3-day, you keep that separate. You don't stress it. You just let it sit. You either get stopped out or you win on that trade. That's how I look at it, right? You can't, I just let it be. Man, I worked out so hard today. I was sweating profusely all over the floor. It was insanity. Shout out to the 1,000 people here on the stream. Let's go. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. The most motivational show in the game, baby. We don't stop. I don't care if there's a bear market, bull market. I'm positive every single day. I feel good every single day. I push for my dreams every single day. I help someone go after their dreams every single day. No days off, baby. The devil don't take a day off, so God doesn't either. Shine light on somebody. Let someone know you love them. Keep pushing. Stay positive. Motivate the world. Money doesn't move everything. Money makes a few things. It's cool to have money, but money doesn't make you. Let's be honest. Let's keep moving. So the daily looks interesting. And it could be in some chop. And what we're also showing here is this could be a right shoulder on the daily. So if we close tweezer top today on the daily, right, you got to start assuming that's going to break you down and go further to the downside. So that's on the radar. Today, you got to have a daily candle close green. Seriously, it's very important. If it closes red, you got to start assuming. So assume when you're in a bear market, you have to assume that the shorts are going to pay you more than the longs, period. You don't just switch long out of nowhere unless a trend changes. The trend has to tell you, hey, we're not bearish anymore. Right now, the trend is bearish, period. You can see it. It is what it is. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. But there's a fact to the fiction. There's fact or fiction here. And it's either bearish or bullish. Okay? That looks like it's going to, that's a symmetrical triangle too. Symmetrical triangles are bearish. They mainly break to the downside. They're 50-50. They could go either way. So we could get a pump or a dump either way. The measured move up takes you to 100,000. The measured move down takes you to 83K. And it kind of looks like we're still inside this channel that could break further to the downside. First stop 71, next stop 56,000. This could be an ugly move to the downside. So this will take its time for sure, folks. This will take its time. It's only a matter of time. So, to me, I got to be more bearish right now. The 12-hour looks bearish. It's a bearish engulfing candle in the 12-hour. The daily is making a tweezer top. It just got rejected by 92.3. The 1-hour just completely dumped, even though it was in a beautiful flag. And lost the 200 yet again. Chop. Monday morning chop as we speak. We also have the Fed meeting this week. We have so much data. We pumped throughout the weekend, so you knew we were likely going to dump today. You don't pump on Sunday and pump on Monday. I mean, we did it a couple times, but it's rare, right? So you're in this symmetrical triangle for Bitcoin, in my humble opinion. They mainly break to the downside. I would expect at least to bounce back up and then tightness, though, to go after late shorts. I don't trade Monday mornings. It's just not my thing. If you come to the channel, it's very rare you'll see me trade Monday from 10 to 12 or something like that. Very, very rare. It's just not something I'm going to be doing, okay? So yeah, at the end of the day, you're in the symmetrical triangle. You break down, you could double bottom back to 83.5. You break up, you go to 100,000. It's very simple. And that's what I see happening on the day. What's going to happen? Well, right now it's more likely you don't. 15-minute loses the 200 moving average and can't get back above it pretty soon. You got to start looking for the bear flag on the 5-minute time frame. So once you lose the 200 on the 15, you start looking for a bear flag on the 5. I talked about how the 5 couldn't lose the 200 moving average. I told you once it did, we would probably make a move down. We did that. I told you when the 1 minute lost the 200 in this trading group. I said, look, 1 minute lost the 200, made a head and shoulder. See, shoulder, head, right shoulder. And that propelled you with the, and then you had these 2 rejections of the 200 back to the downside. I do not trade long when we lose the 1 minute 200. I trade long when the 1 minute gains the 200. I show you guys this every single day. So if you, yes, I have pants on. Always have pants, man. Yes, proof of pants every single time. Yeah. Someone said there's a CME gap. Let's take a look. FARTCOIN looking better than most coins, above the 200, consolidating on the 21. I saw a lot of altcoins that looked interesting on the 15-minute time frame today. They were making flags. I don't really, it's just an anomaly, something I hadn't seen in a while. I posted it to the group, pointed it out. You would have got a bunch of different altcoins to kind of review, put in your watch list, and check today if you were in the trading group. Possible reverse. The only hope is in the 15. 5 minute, 1 minute. I don't know who the heck. 5 minute or 1 minute. This guy. I don't know what you're talking about. The 5 minute or the 1 minute have so much information, they'll change your life. Yeah. I shouldn't even respond to that comment. It's insane. All right. I've been doing this for so long that if you haven't been doing as long as me, it's going to sound rude, but your strange comments are irrelevant. Yeah, they don't mean anything. Yeah. Shout out to everybody here on the live. It is a real tie. I only wear real ties. All right. I don't wear clip-on ties. All right. I actually have to pull this tie down and then tighten it again. I'm not going to go through all that. It's a real tie, man. All right. I don't know why I'm answering you. It's a waste of my time. Anyway, what's your opinion on Stable by Reeve Collins? I mean, I like Reeve Collins. I met Reeve Collins. I met him at Bitcoin Miami like a long time ago, right? Stable on MEXC. Interesting. I mean, my whole thing is this. There's Bitcoin, there's stable coins. What the heck you need stable for? All right. Let's take a look at it and kind of break it down. It's got a 30 million market cap. All right. Stable launches stablecoin protocol yield splitting feature. Stable is RWA-backed stablecoin protocol that uses a yield splitting mechanism to transfer yield-bearing assets into liquid dollar stable tokens. Minted to deposit high-quality RWAs such as tokenized treasuries or money market funds, receive USDT as a stablecoin, and retain a separate yield claim. This structure allows users to unlock and reuse their principal without foregoing yield. Spending or deploying USDT like USDT, USDC, reinvesting in additional RWAs for compounded returns. But then you have to go and get it back too, you know what I mean? It's kind of like liquid staking, no? All right, in a way. All right. I came here to announce the Night token. Amazing. I mean, Night token's interesting. I like it. Midnight. Yeah, and again, you think it would have a big move here for Cardano, but I have to be honest. I love Cardano. I've been in Cardano since 2017. Yeah. Ada Source is Binance to list Midnight's Night token. Ada Source? Midnight's a new generation of blockchain developed by Charles Hoskinson, the co-founder of Ethereum and founder of Cardano, that uses zero-knowledge proof technology to offer utility without compromising data protection or ownership, enabling applications that safeguard user commercial and transaction data and metadata. Midnight introduces a novel blockchain architecture designed to address key privacy-limiting designs of existing public blockchains. I believe what Charles works on will be the forefront of technology. And the forefront of technology is usually looked at as dormant or slow right now because people can't even understand where we're going to be. But Cardano, you know what I mean? I think Charles can see where we're going to be in 5 years from now before other people. So his technology looks irrelevant now, but it's more relevant in the future. And that's what happens to futurists. People who are futurists see things before they happen strongly before the rest of the world. The rest of the world thinks they're dumb. When Nikola Tesla went to a symposium, he talked about moving images wirelessly. He talked about the internet. And they laughed at him. He was so far ahead of his time that they couldn't conceptualize of his ideas. His ideas were far ahead of the commonplace, the common folk. So they thought he was out of his mind. He was actually so superior in intellect that he could see things they couldn't conceive of. And that's the problem when you have a very fast intellect. You will be thought of as misunderstood. You can find yourself alone. It could be a tough time because you can see things that basically 90% of the world cannot see. And no matter how hard you try to teach or learn them, they'll laugh at you, ridicule you, and call you names. It happened to me when I tried to, I'm not saying I'm smart as Nikola Tesla, but when I figured out Bitcoin and I tried to help as many people as possible, I told them it was $500, $1,000, and that the dollar was going to keep going down in value, and that it was one of the greatest investments they could make. You could have 100 extra money when I was, if you had listened to me at $1,000, right? Back in the day, before I had a channel, when I was just anybody I talked to, right? Midnight will be a Cardano native token. It is opening the doors for other Cardano tokens to be listed on T1 Sexes. Yeah. Join the 99 and change your situation. Amen. Yeah. Another grifter. Oh my gosh. So people think that. People call Hoskins a grifter. That's crazy, man. He's such a nice guy, but I guess he gets misunderstood like everybody else out here. So can we hold this trend line? Bounce, bounce, bounce. Can the 1 hour get a bounce here? Can the 50-minute get so oversold that we get back into good graces? Looks like we may. Would it be surprised if we just bounce around today and do some good volatility swings? But again, now you got to wait back to the same story now. The 5-second has to get back above the 200 moving average, then the 30-second, then the 1 minute, and then the progression continues. It's the same thing. It's a discipline. Isn't our system so disciplined it's boring? We know what's going to happen. Look, there's a bit of an Adam and Eve here. We don't know what's going to happen, but we can, through the progression of time frames and moving averages, we have a high probability of what's going to happen. And it plays out pretty nice over time, right? Everyone, if you want to buy a cool Bitcoin watch, all right, they're awesome. I've got one right here, actually, about to put 2 watches on. Why not? I'll put a Rolex on the left and a Bitcoin watch on the right, right? But this watch is amazing, man. My Bitcoin watch, Rolex watch, Bitcoin watch, they both look cool. They're both amazing. But if you want to jump on in, I just think the guy's cool. I don't even remember what we negotiated as affiliates. So, like, I'm not even, you know, I just love the watch. It's a cool Bitcoin watch. They're $800 to $2,000. They're made very well. This blue one is beautiful. This silver one is nice. The blue one's really nice, though. I like the blue and silver. Looks fresh. This one's awesome. The moon version, I think this is the best to the moon 100K edition. You know what I mean? Like Bitcoin hits 100K. This one's obviously sold out. It kind of has the Rolex Patek vibe. Right? It looks like a Patek kind of from far away. But anyway, so yeah, I just love this dude. Good dude. Check him out. And yeah, check out the Coin Vigilante. These watches are fun and awesome. I got one on right now. And I have a link here with my reference code. If you want to jump on in and if you want something to commemorate 100K, if you don't want to, buy a $15,000, $20,000 Rolly, but you want a good watch that you're connected to, this Bitcoin watch is amazing. I love my Bitcoin watch. I wear it sometimes over my Rolex. I really do. It's beautiful. I've never had a black watch either, and I love it. So anyway, hey, I talk about what I like. I like the watches. They're cool. 5-second back above the 200. We can get ourselves a possible chance here to come back. Two-time Tommy, two-time. We gangsta over here. Hey, 2 times. Hey. The black to the moon. Yeah, the black one to the moon is official. It's so official. Bro, unkin the pick. Oh, are you in there? Are you on the website? Is that what you're saying? Is that your uncle? Are you in here somewhere? I don't know what Reliable J is saying. Sam, let's guess what's in your pocket again. Sad to say I have absolutely nothing. I could pick up something from the desk and put it in my pocket, but we'll do that tomorrow. Oh, fine, I'll pick up something from my pocket maybe and put it in, but you're never going to guess what it is. Shout out to all the beautiful people here. Yeah, it's a clip-on watch. Freaking loser, man. Okay, so strange people, man. Respect yourself, bro. Have respect for yourself. That's how you know what I mean? When you disrespect other people, you have no respect for yourself. It's funny, people think they're making fun of others, but when you make fun of someone else, you're making fun of yourself because it shows you have no respect for yourself. Yeah. I always tell people when they're disrespecting others, have some respect for yourself, man. Come on. Like, is that how you treat your family's legacy? Disrespect yourself in front of the whole world? That's horrible. Anyway. Bitcoin looking bearish, folks. It is what it is. You need a bounce. Otherwise, you're going to drop right back down here to 86.8. Funny, you regain 90,000, you lose it. You regain, you lose it. Kind of need a bounce and some tight price action. I'm looking for a possible bounce and tightness there. But to me, it's either a dump or tightness. I definitely don't see a huge pump coming today. All right. What do you, yeah. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I flame no one who asked a question. If you ask a question, I'll answer it wonderfully. You want me to get the thing? Yeah, get the thing over here. Yo, get that thing. Sam, you're internationally known to rock the microphone. My man, I love you. The guy has a clip-on, the commenter. You're funny. I've actually adopted that. Show yourself some respect is how I say it. The reactions are priceless. It's amazing, isn't it? Show yourself some respect. I love have some respect for yourself. It reminds me of like Casino. Have some respect for yourself over here. Didn't your mother ever teach you anything, eh? Wow, Bitcoin taking a big dump. And again, when it loses the 1 minute, that's my side. Again, I sit on the 1 minute, short or long, depending on what it does. When it loses, that's a beautiful gain today. Did anyone short the 1 minute loss? Because that's what I teach my students, to short the 1 minute. I just don't trade Mondays, so it's sad. I don't take advantage of that every time. Yeah. They are numbered, kind of cool with the collector's watch. 100%. Yeah, Reliable J, were you in one of those pictures? Yeah. And now you can see the 1 minute just kind of forming more of a, just like more descending, you know. It looks like it's going to continue to roll over there. I don't get a good continuation vibe here. There's a bull div there, but it doesn't seem to kick in too hard. All right. So where are we going? What's the next step for BTC? Well, let's take a look. Is there a live trade? Unlikely not. Sad to say. All right. You know, yeah, I would be looking for a bear flag on the 5 minute time frame right now. Or sharp reversal back to the 21. But to me, I think the bear flag's the most likely scenario back down to $88,000. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Bookmap is a heat map order book. I do get a commission if you sign up to Bookmap. They used to sponsor the channel, decided that we just weren't good enough. I don't know why. Kind of crazy. 95,200 here is a key level. All right. If you want to jump on in, that's an area where you might get liquidated if you short the market. That's what it's telling you. It's telling you, hey, there's a lot of people with short stop losses and liquidations here at 95,000. However, we've had this lingering area above us for a while. We just can't seem to get there. We get to 94, we can't get further above. Yeah. So yeah, I would watch this bear flag on the 5 minute time frame. If it fills out, we're likely going down. If the 5 minute can make some type of reversal pattern and break back to the upside, I do see the 1 hour kind of in chop. We just got to see the smaller time frames fight off the bears here. So right now it's, you know, you got to assume the bears will continue. We got to see the bulls do something different, right? Exactly. Yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. So that could come all the way down to 87,267. That's the key level that I'm looking for there for BTC. Okay. How is Bitcoin dominant? We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We will take a look. All right. We will take a look. Yeah. But last bear market, we also had huge liquidity above. It never liquidated, just continued to tank further. Hey, there you go. There you go. Hey, I like that you said that. Honestly, the last bear market, I don't know, was I using because I started using Bookmap like 2 or 3 years ago. So I don't think I was using Bookmap the last bear market. Maybe I was. I can't remember. I feel like I started using Bookmap maybe maybe it's been 4 years. I just don't know if I had it in the last bear market, like the 2020 crash back down. Yeah. Wow, USDJPY just kept going this morning. I mean, let's talk about it. I believe I went over this. I believe we talked about it on the channel. I just remember going over Japanese yen USD. All right. And look, it crossed the daily 200 moving average, which told you there was going to be a pump. You see? I bet you would cross the 1 hour 200. Yeah, see, like it crossed the 1 hour right there and got a beautiful pump. You said it just kept going. I mean, you must be on some really small time frame. But that's the 1 hour. It has been pumping since 155 all the way, and then it crossed the 200. See, this is where I would just wait for the 15 minute to flag out now. So if this is bullish, the 15 minute's going to flag out. You're going to miss. You got to get structure. You might miss a little more pump. But there's the deal. And like that could continue to 157. All right. The hope is for the 786 to hold. Just keep airing dips, it will tank. Buy low, sell high. No bear market without a bull market. Choppy market only. Is there access to bookmap historical data? That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't have that. No. I see it day by day as it comes. Bitcoin's still continuing to kind of fight the business here further to the downside. You could say it's just on these bottom trend lines, just barely here. Yeah, there's some space. But wow, that's collapse. Like, look at that. Losing the 200 and it's straight dump. Just like you gain the 200, straight pump. I don't understand why the 200 does this. Bots control the market as far as I'm concerned. The older trading styles have been programmed into bot-like features, and the bots just, whenever they go crazy above the 200, they go crazy below it. They propel orders, and then people run into those order books and keep them going. It's pretty crazy. All right. 100K incoming closer than 63. Come on, man. Sam, can you check that Bitcoin dominance? The yen is waning. Is warning. The yen is warning. I think you mean waning. I don't know. Zcash broke its downtrend, but it's now struggling with 490. Interesting. Super cycle 2026. I mean, if that's what you want to believe, I take it one step at a time. I don't want to believe these big narratives that get tossed my way. Just one simple, 200 SMA, 100%. You've got it. Yes. Who here loves learning and loves hanging out with the lifer? Who here wants to keep pushing themselves every single day and progress? I do. Yeah. So yeah, it looks like we're going to continue in this bear flag here on the 5-minute time frame. That just looks likely. Yeah. Someone says, where do you see SUI going in the last hour? I mean, SUI looked good to me until it didn't. The 4 hour was attempting to hold that key level. Let's take a look at it again. So this previous resistance looked like SUI could hold, and I just want to see SUI basically maintain some type of consolidation here. Does give it a higher target. Oh, that goes all the way, huh? But yeah, that's a target about 237. It is getting tight. It's showing higher lows. I'm seeing a lot of consolidation in these coins. I'd like to see it bust through the 200 moving average in the 4 hour time frame. It's just above the 1 hour 200, showing some signs of life here. So yeah, it looks good to me. But, I mean, the market is so sketchy. Taking a shot right now on an altcoin to me is a very tough move. If I haven't bought something in a long time and I'm just adding to an overall bag, I wouldn't touch it. Again, yes, there could be a huge move and you look back and be like, wow, I made 50% if I had some guts and I bought the lows. But it's just so high. I did that every time. Like anytime we had dumps and I got little bumps, but they weren't sustainable. So I don't know. I can't tell you what to do with your money. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. I don't show coins. I don't talk about things for money. I just kind of go over what I see every day. And right now, I mean, I like the consolidation for SUI. I really do. I want to see it stay above the 1 hour 200 moving average. If it goes sideways for 8 more hours and stays tight, there's a good chance it's going to pump. But just watch it in this channel. But SUI's definitely on my radar. It looks better than most. It's consolidating. It has a higher low. Those are all positive, bullish signs. That's bullish, so. I just learned a ton in the 99 for 6 months. Want to rejoin, but want a mentor. Is there anyone available? I learned a ton of the 99 for 6 months. You don't need a mentor. I had a group leader like I am. And honestly, you just got to you don't need a mentor. That's like thinking that God's not by your side. You don't need a mentor. You need someone to show you what you need to be doing, and then you need to replicate it every day. Everyone thinks someone's going to hold their hand and do one-on-ones with them, and there's going to be an amazing trader. Just go to my live streams. I could do so many people want my money. I could charge them so much for hourly rates. There's people that have begged me for $7,000 one-on-one month. Please, I'm worth millions. I just want to sit with you. And I've said, I just don't have the time to sit with just you. I said, I want a mentor. See, my goal is to help as many people around the world as possible. If I took side clients on like that, I just couldn't be there for everybody. So I'd either be there for like 100 side clients paying me like $7-8 grand, or you know what I mean? Or I'm there for thousands of people every day. I found a system that helps the most amount of people at once. And it's up to you. Everyone thinks a mentor is going to change their life. And, a few sessions would be good if you're having... This is the issue. The reason most people are struggling in trading is not because you're not a good trader. It's because you have subconscious mind programming. You don't believe you deserve. You don't think you're willing to win. And you talk negative to yourself probably more than you talk positively. You don't have a positive mindset. You think you do, but you don't. This is the reason 99% of people are losing at trading. It has nothing to do with trading. It has everything to do with their mindset, how they believe in themselves, and what they believe, right? You're my mentor. God bless you. You can use me as a mentor. Jim Rohn was my mentor. I never met him. I never paid him $100 a session. You know what I mean? I didn't sit with him for years. I never even went to him live. He was dead when I found out who he was. He mentors me every single day with his words of wisdom. He's dead. I play replays of him every morning. But you know what? He's the reason I'm where I am today. He helped mentor me onto a new mental framework. He reworked my brain. He helped me realize that I had neuroplasticity, that I could change the way I think. That's why when I stay on this stuff, people say he's not talking about trading again, and they don't realize that I'm talking about trading more than ever. Most traders are losing money because they don't have self-confidence in themselves. They talk negatively to themselves. They think this is going to blow up in their face like all the other things in their life. They sit with negative self-talk. They sit in depression. They do not build themselves up mentally. This is why 95% of people are losing in the world. 95% of people have low self-esteem, period. Most of the people on the earth have low self-esteem. If you believe in yourselves, you're ready to push, and you want to change, you're going to have an up already. You're going to be in the top 1%. The top 1% are not the richest people. They're the people that think the biggest. They're the people that think the most positive, that fill themselves with love. Their frequencies are high, so money follows high frequency. Don't you understand? Once you work harder than once you have a clear mind and a clear vision, you're going to begin to go forward. Once you go forward faster than most people, money's going to find you. Money finds the most progressive people. Become a progressive person, you'll become one of the richest people in your industry. It's very simple, folks. Most people don't want to put in the work. They don't want to give up the alcohol. They don't want to give up those Saturday and Sunday nights with their buddies, partying, hanging out. I don't do that. It's very rare to catch me going to a bar. I went to one bar with my buddy recently. I had one non-alcoholic Heineken. I watched them play, the beanbag game. I should know the name immediately. It's like drawing a blank, and I went home after an hour and a half, It's just not my thing. It's funny. A bunch of people saw the Lambo, like the bartender was like, can I hold the keys, bro? Can I see the keys? You don't even realize everyone knows you're the dude who is so crazy. Sam and Master, friend of my mentors who started my journey with taking trading seriously. Between those two and putting in the work, trading has gone from a faraway dream to now truly tangible. Exactly. Trading is a 90% mental class. Yeah. Sam also inspired me to get 100% sober. I love hearing that. Your stream is equal parts TA and gospel. That's what makes me admire you the most. Money is not the most important thing in life. When your spirit is righteous, it flows to you freely. Yes, when you cornhole. Yeah, cornhole. Funny, someone called it a cornhole, right? It's so kind of like, right? You know why they call it corn. It's so crazy. Crypto Lifer, YouTube keeps throwing commercials on your live. First time I've seen in 3 years. You know why? Because we can't grow because we don't use commercials. So it's hard for me to grow. So like once a week, I think I have to bend the knee, even though I haven't done it in so long. So you got to bear with me, man. You have to think about other people who are at 300,000, 500,000 subs because they've been bending the knee. See? I haven't bent the knee in years, man. And so you got to play ball somewhat. All right? Many E negative, therefore they are negative. Stay green, 100%. Can you look at Litecoin on 6 months? Looks like XRP before the breakout. I learned Sam's knowledge through checking in every day on his live streams. Thank you. Yeah, shout out to the 1,300 people here on the stream. Let's get the likes. We had more likes yesterday, and we had 900 people on the stream. We had 600 likes. All right, we had a small, tiny weekly screen share last night. Not weekly, but a weekly candle close. And we had more likes and less people on the stream. So everyone, come on now. Hit that like button. Get it going. All right. Exactly. Yeah, I've been spoiling you guys with no ads for over 5 years, man. Seriously, it's like the nicest thing I could have done. Like, yeah. Exactly. That's why we love you. Don't bend the knee. Yeah, exactly. Okay. We went over midnight. We went over some of the newest things that are happening in the markets. Zcash is up 18% in 24 hours. A little bit of a bounce there. 17. Nice. I like that. Canton CC. Any movement is better. PEPE up 20% in a week. ENA. So you can see altcoins are kind of bouncing. They're saying, hey, they're too low. The prices, I mean, Ondo at 47 cents. So crazy, man. Solana holding. Astra at 94. Pancake stays above 210, 220. I mean, it's amazingly strong. Everything else kind of in the down. I'm so happy I sold Render at 45. It's back. Hyper Liquid, I mean, it's at 30. That thing was so annoying to hold. Had Utility was a real project. Worst price action I've ever seen. Chainlink 13. Sky. And I saw some coins today that I've given to the trading group that I won't bring up here on the stream. You got to be in the group to see what I'm talking about. But there's like 10 coins that I went over this morning that all look somewhat interesting. Is there a Guinness Book of World Record for the most consecutive days being on a live? I know, we got to be somewhat close to it. You know, we got to be somewhat close to it. So I'm looking for a bounce back to the top of the channel on the 1 hour time frame. I am. That's what I believe is likely going to happen, but what I believe does not matter. But I'm looking for this. It might even make a right shoulder. You see shoulder, head, right shoulder. Might be, but I'm looking for a bounce back to the top of the range in this choppy period here. All right. 15-minute getting the bounce. I like it. That means the 5-second got above the 200 moving average. You see, I know these things. See that? Now the 30-second has to get above the 200. This is the progression of moving averages. And you got to have like a Adam and Eve or some type of reversal bottom. Otherwise, you will just, if this continues to channel sideways, we will make a bear flag on the 5-minute time frame. I'm not showing you what's going to happen. I'm teaching you how to find out what's going to happen. See? All the other channels are trying to tell you their strategies. This is what I'm showing you, how to find strategy as it happens in real time. This is real-time analysis. This is real-time formation of thought process. Like, you don't see this anywhere else on any other channel. Everyone else does their thought process and then formulates a pre-recorded video showing you what's happening. This channel, we actually show you the thought process, and it's vulnerable. Sometimes I look like I'm kind of confused. Sometimes I don't look perfect. But years go by, and I keep hitting. And so I don't worry about the people that watch me and think I don't get it. I know that if you keep watching, you're going to learn. All I got to do is keep helping people, keep teaching people, and my mission will continue to grow. Salute, you know? And may God be with you. Peace be with you all. Peace be with everybody here on the channel. May peace be with you. That's one of my favorite times. I went to church as a kid. My favorite, I would light up, man. It's how you know I like people. I get so excited. And, you know, I sound like such a corny guy right now, but I don't care, man. I don't care if I sound cringe. I don't care. I talk about my story. I tell you who I am. But, you know, at church, they'd say, if you didn't know about church, if you're in a Catholic church, there's a moment in church where the priest says, and he talks about peace. And he goes, and now let's offer each other a sign of peace. And you just turn to everyone around you and you shake their hand and say, peace be with you. Peace be with you. Peace be with you. That was my favorite moment of church every time. I just would love to shake a stranger's hand and give them my light and shine with happiness and say, peace be with you, man. You know, and some people may think it's fake. Some people may this and that. But for me, it was amazing. I loved it. That's the one thing I love about church the most is peace be with you, man. Like, because why not, man? Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Shake someone's hand you've never met. Look them dead in the eye and really wish peace with them. And really, really, from the bottom of your heart, wish peace on them. You know what I mean? And then you can feel that they wish peace on you. And it's just a beautiful thing, man. So that's my favorite thing about church. So yeah, we could possibly do an inverted head and shoulder here on the 32nd. Kind of an Adam and Eve too. Could get a right shoulder or it could continue to bounce. At least we're starting the journey. So the smaller time frames can show you when the bleeding stops. Then we replicate through the moving averages till we get to like a substantial time frame like the 15. And then you can actually call it a reversal. Right? You're a real one, Sam. God bless you. God bless you, man. That's my favorite part too, Sammy. I've always loved it since I was I was 10 years old. I got so excited. Peace be with you. And I guess the little kid comes out in me every time, you know. So peace be with you, everybody. Peace be with you. May God bless you forever. I'm so grateful. Thank you for everything you've given me on the stream. So yeah, I like kind of what we're seeing here on the 32nd. Yeah, be anything. What? My grandfather was a poster. Reverend Angel, peace be with you. Amen, brother. So look, I mean, all coins look good. Like I see SUI does look like it's going to take off. I like tightness above the 200 moving average. A low, a higher high, a higher low. It assumes you'll put in a higher high. So you have a mini uptrend. You're above moving averages. You're above a point of control. Looks like there's some altcoin movement coming here. Yeah. And I could be wrong. I've seen this before and they didn't get the follow through. So. And also with you, brother. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Amen. Amen. Yeah. And also with you. And salam alaikum to all the Muslim people, man. I love everybody that believes in one God, man. I don't care how you do it. If you live in love and believe in one God, man, I'm blessed to be around you. And if you don't believe in God, I still love you anyway. It doesn't matter. I don't push my beliefs on you. It doesn't matter to me. All right. As long as you want to help others, you bring positivity and light and love, you're a good person. Sam, can you take a look at Bitcoin on the 2 hour? It looks like it's about to bounce there again. Thanks, brother. I do like the 2 hour time frame. I've been using it recently because it's been shedding some information. And yeah, I mean, I like that it hasn't lost the 200 moving average. You see? I still believe to long the 3-day above the 200 is a, I gotta see what's crazy is as you begin to become a long-term trader, you realize that everything was probability. It wasn't about being wrong or right. You just had to take the right probability at the right time. That's all. But certain holds take way more patience. Like a 3-day hold could take 2 months to play out for you to actually get the money you're looking for. It could take 2 months. No one wants to wait 2 months for their trade to play out. You know what I mean? It's just not what they're looking for. Do the right thing is important. Amen. Was very touched by your story of living in one-bedroom apartment with your wifey before making it big. Yeah, I lived in a one-bedroom apartment for 12 years of my life, man. 11 years. I worked a night shift. It was $13.50, then $14, then $14.50. They only raised the rent $100 in 10 years. It was slightly rent controlled. It was a very nice situation I had. Everyone else's rent was going up, and I was able to keep buying Bitcoin, keep investing long term. And as my paycheck went up, I kept my expenses. See, I researched multi-billionaires and millionaires, and they told me that once they had more income coming in, they didn't raise their expenses. So this is how, again, I can teach anyone how to become a multi-millionaire. It's a very simple strategy. You get a job. You got to be willing to work. You got to immerse yourself out there. You go to a city. You got to go to a city. I think you should go to a city where there's an opportunity. Once you get the money, you can move out the city. But there's just not a lot of opportunity in these small towns. So you move to a city. You got to get to some metropolis, some place where there's some movement. Because there's action and there's competitive nature. Where there's competitive nature, you can negotiate for a higher salary, right? Because you compare yourself to others and say, I'm better than them, so I should get better. But if there's no one else to compare to, you can't get a higher salary. You can't negotiate nothing. You got to take whatever's there. Or you're the best, and it doesn't mean some people in small towns make it big. But, my whole thing is I would get yourself to a city. So if you're young, you're the age of 14 to 18, you got a belief, you want to start your life, or you're 18, you could move out. I'd get myself to a city. I moved to New York City. It was the biggest city in the world. More opportunity there than almost anywhere in the world. Of course, I was going to find opportunity. I was in New York City. Boston's good too, but New York City had way more opportunity than Boston. It just did. So the first thing you got to do is get yourself to a city. Second thing you got to do is either decide whether you're going to have education and use that education to get yourself a better job. But while you're educating, you got to have yourself a side job. So while you're educating, you got to maybe work at a public library, or maybe you work on campus. You know what I mean? For book credits or something. You got to have some way to bring in some type of funds, right? Some people can, have a family member support them while they go to get education. Not everyone has that, right? My thing is this. I think the old college way is scratched. I would move to a city. If I was going to get rich, this is what I would do. 18 years old, I would move out of my house, tell my parents I love them, and I'd move to a city. And then I'd start looking for opportunity. I'd ask myself, what am I good at? I'd take one of those personality tests, try to find out if I'm good at math, if I'm forward thinking, if I'm retrospective, maybe I'm better at conceptualizing where a company can move. Do you like video editing is a great way to kind of begin. Everyone needs a video editor right now, even though AI, you can get a good video AI kind of, and you can kind of oversee the video editing. You got to do something. And you eventually got to start working For me, I took a night shift. I moved to New York City. I had different odd jobs. I took a night shift for $175. All right, $175 a night. No lie. What was that a week I was making? My first job in New York City, what was I making a week? $175 a night. I can't even believe this. Times 5, 8, times 4. I was making $3,500 a month. My rent was low, right? I shared an apartment for like, what was it? $1,500. It was like $1,550 with my two sisters. For a while, it was just me and one sister, and so we did have to go $700. But eventually, my rent was like $5. My expenses were about $800 a month. Let's say $1,200 for food. You know, I could live off of, let's say $1,500. I could live. And they took taxes out of this, so I only really took $3,000. So I had $1,800 a month to save. So I was making no money, but I was still saving $1,800 a month. See what I'm saying? I was making nothing. And compared to a lot of people, I was making better. Like, I've seen some people look at this and like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. You know? But that's how much I was making. We're talking when I first started in the industry. $3,000, you know? And I had to start somewhere. I didn't have a degree. I didn't have a resume. There was no one that was going to hire me. I had to just take what I could. And I worked my way up and I gained more and more knowledge. Okay, then I got $200 a month, $200 a night. Then eventually I got $250 a night. Then eventually a union job opened up on the night shift and I was the one to take it. And I got $350. They moved me up to $47 an hour. 47 and a half, I think. $47.50 an hour. Look at that. Right? And they matched it with a pension. Once I got into the union, they had to match it. So $47.50. I went from 1 year times 8. And then they'd always give me, a lot of times they'd give me like 2 to 3 hours of overtime a night, which would be a time and a half. So once I went over 8 hours, it was time and a half. Once I went over 10 hours, it was double time. A couple times they caught me 14 hours. I'm making $700 a day. You know, next thing you know, you times that by 5. Now my paycheck's now $2,000. Now I'm making $8,000 to $8,000. Some months I took in $10,000. Now I'm making $120,000 a year. My life changed. After 6 years on the night shift, they upped me to the night shift, and I got the night shift given to me, and boom, my life changed. Right? I stayed in the 1-bedroom apartment for $1,400 at that time. They eventually did raise the rent to $1,450. And at this point, I was paying the whole rent because I had moved in. I had moved out. I lived with my sisters for years. My paycheck moved on. I got married. I got into the union. I had a kid. I got married. All right? So it's like, then I had no money for my wife's ring. But they found out that I had worked on a union show when I shouldn't have for like months on end, and they got sued. And my company had to back pay me union money because they had me working on a union show when I shouldn't have been doing it. Like on the low. They basically would send the tapes upstairs and have me loading them. They got caught somehow. Someone dimed on them. Someone in the union dimed on them and complained. And the union sent an investigation, a secret one, and they caught them. And so I got this check for $5,000. And that's how I was able to buy my wife's ring. That's how I was able to buy my wife's wedding ring. Like, I didn't even have the money, everyone. I didn't have the money. I didn't have it. These are the stories of real life. Like, this is what made me who I am today. Everyone wants to have all the money. Everyone wants to have Jaguars and Lamborghinis. And man, I stayed in a 1-bedroom apartment for 10 years. I worked a night shift for 7 years of my life. I made no money. I didn't complain. I kept grinding. I said thank you to God every chance I did. I struggled. I was depressed. I compared myself to my friends who were making millions of. My friends had a company they sold a company for $220 million. They were traveling the world, taking me to dinner. And I was going back to my 1-bedroom apartment. Like, what is wrong with me? I was comparing myself to everybody. I was struggling in life. I've been through it, everyone. You know, I just want to make that really clear. I've been through it. I stayed disciplined. When everyone else was out partying, I was buying Bitcoin. When everyone else bought the new car to, show their friend, when everyone got that $3,000 apartment because they wanted to show people how good their life was. So when I was making what? Let's take a look at it. Let's see how my life changed. So I'm making that $175 a week. So crazy. I still can't believe that. The next year I got $200. The next year, every year I asked for a $25 raise, and they gave it to me, but they would take 2 months to give it to me. So they would basically give me a raise I'd ask for it after the year. Oh, we'll wait for a month review. Then they'd call it. That would give them another 13 months. Think about it. So now after 3 years of asking for a review, they'd give it to me in 30, basically they just kept shaving a month, man. It was so grimy. Like, they did everything they could to suppress me, and I still made it. Like times 52, and I took some time off. No, but I was making 175. Hold on. 175 times 5, right? And that was a week times 52 weeks. I was making $45,000 a year, man. So crazy, right? The second I got that raise, and it happened overnight, I went from the regular job. Now, at that point, I was making, I think I might have been making $250 a night at that point when I finally got the raise, right? So, right, times 20 was what I made a month, times 12. So I was making 60 grand a year. No health insurance. So I still had no health insurance. So if anything happened to me, and I had no health insurance for like 7 years of my life, man. I just went to this like Asian guy. I told him what was wrong and he would give me prescriptions. Like, it was fine, You're a lucky guy in your life. Imagine being born in Sudan. 100%. I was born in America. I know that. And that's why I tell everyone America is a beautiful place. And anyone that disrespects this country, I just can't understand it, because I know that I got a one-up by just being in America. I know that, my friend. I'm connected to God. I know that I got one-upped. Bro, when you're connected to God, you know when you got a good hand in life, because you don't take anything for granted. When you're connected to God, you're grateful for everything you've been given. You're grateful for the country you're born in. You're grateful for the opportunities you've been given. So 100%, man, I know that. But you know what I do know? I knew if I was born in Sudan or one of those countries, I would have found a way to make new bricks out of mud huts, and I would have risen out of that small. I know it. I would have wrote a book and sold it, become one of the famous authors in my small town. I would have done something to get out of that situation. I would have still become world famous. I don't care where I was born. I don't care what situations I was put in. I don't know. I can't tell you that for a fact, right? Who knows? What if I got, But what I can tell you is, you can do it, man. You can do it. I grinded from the ground up. No uncle gave me a paycheck. No one said, hey, here's 10 Bitcoins. Sam, just stash those for later. You're going to be okay. It never happened. Okay? So I'm grateful for every single thing in my life. Bitcoin sideways, 89.9 to 90,000. It's not doing a dang thing right now. You're better off learning a life story right now with me than sitting there staring at the charts every 5 seconds when they're sideways on a Monday. Trust me. If anything, I would still keep this kind of bear flag idea alive on the 5-minute time frame. When that 21 touches below the 200, we could definitely get a bit of a bear flag. I'd also see us for a reversal. We're in chop. Remember that. Is the positive attitude not, my dad is a Christian for 40 years. People can be religious, but they may not be connected to God. You can go to church every single day. Someone can never step into a foot in church, but someone who can understand God, has God come into your life? Have you ever walked down the street and someone's looked at you and said something to you and you felt God in them? You know that that's an energy that you want to connect to. Have you ever said something to someone and it's just, Exactly. Chris, join the 99. Yeah, that was the best motivational set today. I love watching you. God loves, and we all love you. Thank you. Most inspiring guy ever. Watch you for years now. You've changed my life with your teachings, both crypto and non-crypto. Congrats on 100K deserved. Thank you, Charlie Vlogs, man. I love you, brother. Thank you to all the people that reach out every single day. Emails, comments. You have no idea how much you help me when you send positive comments my way. One positive comment makes me feel amazing. It's amazing. Thank you so much. That's so awesome, man. I often think about how blessed I am. So grateful. Amen. 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 I have 3 beautiful kids. I know many men that will never have children on this earth, right? I already had 3 kids. What a blessing. I've had a woman who loves me. What a blessing. I've had a mother who told me she loved me every day of my life. Yes, she's gone. She passed on Thanksgiving 2 years ago, but that's okay. She did love me. My dad told me he loved me. He was there for me. He pushed me to become great. I had good parents. I had so many good things in my life that I'm grateful for, including each and every one of you. I see this as a bear flag. It just doesn't look amazing to me. I have to be honest right now. It looks like it's going to roll over somewhere down to 87.8. I could be wrong. But right now, it's just looking blah. You know, sticking a higher low, 89.185 is the support down there. Yeah, 89.250. Sam, you created a family outside your family with the lifer community. I admire that more than you know. I appreciate you. Thank you. My job has gone from $45K a year to $38 a year with every 6-month raise. I'm totally lost as to how that happens. I don't understand how you gone from 45K to 38K with every 6-month raise. I'm confused. Saw a guy on the highway exit asking for food and money. Didn't even have a sign. Got him a meal from Wendy's and a hot coffee. Asked him to pay for him, and he was accepting. It was God using me. Amen. 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 Every time you inspire someone, he probably prayed that morning for some food, man. You know, you answered his prayers. We answer each other's prayers. You know that, right? God's using each and every one of us. People pray for things. You come through and do it. You've just answered someone's prayer. You know how inspiring that is? The other day I was somewhere. It was like 7-8 months ago. We were at an Olive Garden. I had a huge day of commissions. You know, things just went well. You know, it was an amazing day. I was walking on water. I was up like 10K on the day or something crazy, right? And we went to eat at Olive Garden. Pretty inexpensive for someone that made 10K that day, right? And the waitress came by and blah, blah, blah. I think it was like $90. And I just rounded it up to like 200 or something, left 110. And I'm not trying to brag, you know, and I don't try to talk about this too much. But I love this story because I said, babe, I just want to hook this lady up. She seems like she really needs it. She mentioned her daughter. She mentioned that she almost took the day off today because she couldn't have someone watch her kid, but then someone at the last minute helped her. And somehow it came up. I think we were with our kid. I said, man, we should hook this lady up. Give her a nice tip. So we left a big tip, and then like she got to the table, and like as we were leaving, she said, that's amazing. And she said, you know what? I really needed some help today, and I prayed to God that something extra would come my way. And she's like, you just answered my prayers, you know? And I got out of the car, I cried my eyes out. I love that. I love that stuff. I don't give a damn, man. Andrew Tate talks about not crying, all that stuff. I don't give a damn. I'll talk about my emotions anytime I want. I mean, again, men are strong. Like, we have to be there in times. You can't crumble. Well, you can think things are beautiful. You can cry tears of joy, man. You can connect to people and feel deeply connected to them. And you don't have to hide your emotions from anybody. Get that whole hide your emotions because you're a man stuff. Get that out of here, man. That's a bunch of baloney. Yeah. So we're trading right now. We're watching Bitcoin. It's in a sideways flag. When Bitcoin gets sideways, I get a little philosophical because it's kind of like, look, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles times 5. That's 40 minutes of just nothingness. So, yeah. So I'm just telling you, it's likely we're going to make a bear flag, but we're slowly making it. So I could sit there and we could stare at the bear flag like this. Or I could teach you about my life story, tell you about where I've been, my night shift, how I made millions, and how I got where I'm at. I mean, I think that's pretty damn cool. So it's up to you. On this channel, what I do is when price action gets a little flat, I get a little philosophical. But don't think we're not leaving trading, because trading is number one. All right. We are called to bring shalom to the chaos in the world. This is the way, what we do, baby. God bless you. Shout out to Damer. God bless, please, Sammy and his family and the group of magnificent people. Thank you. Sam the man. Sammy has helped me through massive things. Mental, just with his daily words. Amen. Thank you. Bitcoin inverse, Adam and Eve on the 15-minute. Yeah, you're looking at like this, right? That wouldn't be an inverse Adam and Eve. This is an inverse Adam and Eve. Patterns or topping pattern? I think you're right. Is it a bottom or a top? I see what you're saying. It depends. Yeah, I think, your Adam and Eve double bottom. Yeah, no, you're right. It would be an inverse. It would be or you could just call it an Adam and Eve top or a bottom. But I get it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that also has a move. It's kind of a double top. There's some bearish div there. We're very oversold in the 15-minute, though. Very oversold. So it's like, that's why I just say the bear flag. You know, once the 21 touches, that's likely going to dump. So the odds are that this will continue to dump. I'm not telling you to, I don't think I would take this trade on a Monday. Monday ruins odds a lot. But that's a 4-to-1 risk-reward ratio with a stop above that wick or even that secondary flag. Let me zoom in here to show you what I mean. See where these two candles, ooh, no emojis. See where these two candles had right there? That could be a nice place for a stop loss, a 90,400. All right. I know you mentioned before about not getting into alts. Did you mention just for now and waiting for it to pick up again or done for good? Yeah, no, I would never give up on alts 100%. But I just need to see, Bitcoin has to show us that it's going to hold some key levels and bounce. Right now, we're still in this, like, we could be in a continuation bear market. So it's, and if you're in a continuation bear market, you're also going to get hammered. That's just facts. So that's what's likely going to happen. So I'm just kind of telling you the facts here. That's all. All right. God bless you, Sam. Honestly, I feel the energy every time. It's crazy. Need more men like you in the world. God bless. Thank you so much. We're here to learn, whether it's TA or life experience. We appreciate what you do, Sam. Thank you. I've been through a lot, everyone. I lost my mom and dad before I was 42 years old. You know, I've been challenged in life many times. I've made $1 million twice and lost it. I've been out of the rat race twice and had to go back in, even though I had made it out alive already. Like, I had made enough money to never go back. But I decided to be over risky and greedy, and I got penalized for it. So I've made all the mistakes you've made. I've had it all and lost it twice. So, like, trust me, man. An expert is simply someone that made every mistake in a narrow field. I've made every mistake. I'm not here to show you I'm amazing. I'm not here to show you I'm invincible. I'm here to show you that I actually am the opposite. I am just as vulnerable as you. I've lost many more times than you have. I've lost more than probably most people on this entire channel put together. I swear to God. Winners are people that have just lost more than everybody else. They just never gave up. That's the difference between a winner and a loser, man. A winner is not someone that won more than losers. A winner most likely has actually lost more than everybody else. They just, for some reason, that person was able to push when 90% of people couldn't. When 90% of people said, I'm done, that person said, I'm not done. I'm going to keep going. It's funny that was an accident, but the Lambo flash that was a complete accident. It was like a glitch in the desktop for Microsoft, but like, and the Lambo flashed, right? I mean, pretty interesting. That's how the universe works. It's in synchronicity with everything. With you, with me. You're here on this channel for a reason. You didn't just click on this. Your whole life is a successive movement. I'm part of it now. That's why when you join my trading group, you're going to be part of my energy, part of my everyday cycle. My energy is going to seep into your energy. My frequency is going to seep into your frequency. You're actually getting to use my frequency that I procured all these years. It's a privilege to be in my trading group. It's a privilege to be next to me. It's a privilege to be in my Discord. I worked my butt off. I don't have any negative people in my life. My Discord is clean. The second we see someone's not right, we get rid of them. We don't allow negative frequencies in the Discord. There's people scheming on me all the time. There's old people in my group trying to steal people out the group. There's people jealous of me, pissed at me, wish they got where I'm at. There's so many backstabbers out there. You would not believe it when you get where I'm at. I'm telling you right now, they come out the woodwork and come for you every single day of your life. I don't focus on them. I know they exist. I focus on God. I focus on my family. I focus on working hard. Because if I focus on them, I can't help you. Amen. Let's go. I feel like a winner every single day that I'm here because I created such a place for each and every one of us to learn. I believe this is going to bounce. I just want to make sure it does. I'm not trading this short. I want to make that very clear. I am not shorting the market right now. All right? I'm not. I am not in a short. All right? I actually kind of see like we could bounce here. 1 minute is doing, it's somewhat of an inverted head and shoulder. It's, I don't know, it made a flag too as well here. Okay, just bounced out the symmetrical triangle to the upside. Can the symmetrical triangles finally start breaking up for the first time in years? It's kind of an Adam and Eve double. It's kind of a shoulder, head, right shoulder, but it's messy. And look, they're going to go after it looks like they're going to go after the shorts up to the 200 moving average. Remember, the 5 second regain the 200 first. The second thing you knew was the 30 second to regain the 200. Once the 30 second regains the 200, it'll break above it. I've watched this for years, everyone. It's so crazy. And then make some type of flag. We don't know how it'll make the flag. It'll go up or down like this. It'll go up and down like that. We don't know how it's going to flag out. All we know that it's going to make some type of consolidation. If it's bullish, the 20 will come and touch, and then we'll rip up here. And there's a trade right there. I can already see the trade before it happens. That's the key. Look, they just ripped it back to 90,256. Every time we're back above 90K, I get this feeling of like, ah. Every time I see the 8s, I'm like, ah. Like, stay away from me, 80,000, 89K. Like, stay above 90,000, please. I got the bot that will get liquidated at 67,000. I put more money in so I can lower that liquidation to 58, 40,000. If I stick another 50 grand into the account, well, like every time we get towards 80, 85, then I got to start thinking about, you know, expanding that liquidation. And that's stressful. I have to be honest with you. That's stressful. I don't do cross leverage, so I've never had to manage a position like that. This is new to me. I'm still doing new things every single week in my trading career. It's still progression. In the next year, I'm going to be doing new, different things in trading that I've never done. You have to understand, man, trading is, and again, some of them are scary. Like when I first started trading Lev, I was a bit nervous. There was some fear involved. I was afraid I was going to lose in front of everyone. Afraid I wasn't going to be able to be good. Afraid I couldn't grow my accounts. Afraid I wouldn't be the trader I thought I could be. But I threw myself into the fire. I started small, right? Remember 30 for 100, 100 for 300. Remember every trade I made was 100 for 300 for like 2 years straight. Almost 3 years straight. Then I got to 200 for 6. Then I started opening up those $100,000 positions. Then you started seeing me making thousands of dollars. Then you saw me make 20 grand when I was in Singapore while I was traveling. Like then things started to open up. My life started to change. I started taking control of my discipline in my leverage account. People saw it. I got messages from some of the people that I've ever taught. And they've written me some heartfelt messages that have really sat with me. Yeah. Like this is me and Sean. Sean's one of the amazing people here. I'm making sure there's nothing in there yeah. But look what Sean wrote. Sean, this is one of our awesome elite traders. And he was like, I love it. I pray you make it back home safely and even more blessed. I start filling up my passport in due time. From now I'm enjoying the all-nighters and adding to my bucket list. Oh, another thing, I wanted to give you your flowers is on leverage trading. I remember you used to do it here and there, kind of cautiously, but now you're really showing your versatility. I never thought I would see you day trading so consistent. That's a great accomplishment to add to your resume. So like people saw me change my trading style. You got to progress in trading. You can't sit still, you know, and it's like everything in life. We're always learning, always pushing, always finding a new way every single time, right? This guy said leverage features saved my portfolio. One of my favorite things about trading is we've never been done learning more and more and sharpening our edge. Thank you, Sam. You're very inspiring to me. You've changed my life, my thinking. I've been part of the Lifer Group for the past year, and I've changed my life and built my discipline. I love hearing this. The smile on your face, all while they want to take your place. Those backstabbers. Song entered my mind. I know, right? There's always going to be people trying to destroy you, trying to take you down, trying to look from the outside. They think they own you. They think they're a part of what you built. They're pissed they're not where you should be. They feel like they should be where you should. But they never put in the work. They didn't put in the discipline. They haven't been through the pain. God hasn't put them through the ringer just yet. They got to learn more to teach more. When you become a mentor, you earn the ability to mentor others. God gives you that ability. He says, I've put you through enough. You can now teach others about me and life. But not until God's ready to teach. God decides who's going to mentor and who's not. I'll tell you that right now. God creates these mentors because he puts us through hell and high water. Then he puts us so deep that we don't think we're ever going to get out. Then he saves us and convinces us that, oh my gosh, I see the answer now. It's clear to me now. You know, but that takes so much. You have to go through the gauntlet. You have to go through the gulag. And you don't earn that stuff for free. You don't earn mentorship for free. People don't listen to me because I showed up one day and just tell everyone this is my YouTube channel. They listen to me because there's actual value involved. Someone says shorting the bottom is not a good strategy. I remember the last guy that said that on the short, and we dumped nicely. The last time I shorted, the guy said, why are you shorting the bottom? And we made massive gains. I don't trade Mondays heavily. I trade Mondays after 6 p.m. 7 p.m. tonight, I'm going to be very active. We're going to start seeing it. And I see some altcoins that look like they're going to pump. I put a lot of altcoins out to the trading group today. And I'm going to start being more active. It looks like altcoins could make a bit of a bounce. Someone said, seriously, you'd be buying better bamboo toilet paper right now than this. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I think you're right. Save the Republic USA. I love you, man. Sam, can you look at PEPE? Looks like it may break resistance. PEPE's been hot. PEPE has been hot. If you see it, right? Let's take a look at our altcoin section here for PEPE. Man, I'm excited to be alive today. God bless everybody. I mean, look at that inverted head and shoulder. It got above the 200 moving average, but it is at a heavy resistance. You see it? It breaks through this and you make a flag. So here's the deal. Like, everyone wants to call the absolute bottom, but you don't have to. All you have to do is be able to basically trade key ranges. For me, if Bitcoin pulls back, PEPE pulls back and gets tight in here, then breaks out. If Bitcoin pumps, this will break out, and then the retest will likely be the move. What you want, though, is you want to be buying near the 21. Like, that was the buy when we were on the 21. That was the buy on the 21. That was a buy on the 21. That's a buy. That's a sell when you're away from the 21, but the 21's away from the 200. That's a sell when you're away from the 200, but the 21's away from the 200, the yellow line. How do you add these lines? Very simple. Go up here, hit 5 CBC, 5MA, DRS, and that's going to be 5 moving averages. It's going to give you the 20. Oh, let me go to the right spot so I can show you. Ooh. It's going to give you the 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200 moving average. Okay? That's going to be what it's going to do. And then you're going to be able to move like me. Tight, you're going to get in. Far apart, you're going to know there's stress. You're going to move. You're going to use the stochastics RSI when they're low below the dotted line in conjunction with a flag touching the 21. When the flag is touching a 21 and the stochastics are low, that is an entry, just like right here. That was an entry right there. There was tight moving averages. The stochastics were somewhat low. We made a double bottom. We got above the 200. Boom. PEPE exploded. Back to the top of the channel. I look for it to get tight here and then possibly break out. Looks interesting. Someone says CC exploding, Canton Network. I mean, look at the Adam and Eve double bottom that it just made. I teach my students this. You guys will all learn how to recognize these patterns. That's an Adam and Eve double bottom. That breaks out 90% of the time, the length of the neckline to the head there, and then swings on out and gets to the 200 moving average. All right? Religion is for people afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for people who have been there, in my humble opinion. I love, that's amazing. I like that. Can you add the 200 MA from each time frame on the chart at the same time? I think you can do that, but it becomes a little much. Well, I think you can do that. You can like program it, and then like the 200 is really the 400 on other time frames. It kind of like compounds. All right. Everyone's sweating Zcash right now. Let's see what happens. I want to see if it made a descending triangle. It didn't do that. It kind of made this higher low. I mean, that's a cup and handle, and it broke out nicely. While Zcash bounced from 340. So let's take a look at it on the daily. And that was a pretty good pocket, that $300 pocket. It came up, it came down. Now it's back to 420. Hey, it's on a bit of a move there. And you could say, you could say that it's breaking resistance. You have to understand, it is privacy, so Cabal got together and pumped the price. But they got other people to think about privacy, zero knowledge proof, and why it matters, right? And so that, even though it may have got a pump, and then it got sold off beautifully back down to the 618, the perfect place to get in. If you just buy your 618s, look at that. If you just bought the 618 and did nothing, you went from 271 to 400. So now the daily has momentum. The RSI crossed the line, MACD turning. It looks like it's going to continue to pump. So once I see the daily has momentum, we zoom in. We look at the 4-hour time frame. You can see there's a cup and handle there. Interesting. It got above the previous high. Okay, so now we zoom into the 15. Now I would wait for the flag. Now that flag on the 15-minute right there seemed like it did break out already. So you missed that. So you have to be like, okay, I missed the pump. Like the entry was there at 393, and then we'd already be thinking about maybe getting out at 426. That looks like it could continue to pump even higher. For me, I wouldn't chase it. You know, I have rules. People that don't have rules are going to go in whenever they want. They're going to trade whatever they want. They're going to have no real rules. When you don't have rules, you're likely to get beaten up. That's just the facts of trading. All right. God bless everybody here on the live. We appreciate you all for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Thank you for jumping on in. We love you. We appreciate you. The love is real. Love is the reason I'm still here, honestly. Love is the reason why we've been able to push ourselves higher than any other channel in the game. Love is why we keep finding our way no matter what. All right? So. Bang. Small wins add up over time. I just want you to understand that. Small wins add up over time. It just is what it is. Okay? And taking small losses is key. You know, like setting up, and then when it's not right, don't keep right. The old me, when things weren't right, I just let myself lose $500. Why? It was so stupid. I don't understand what was wrong with me. You know what I mean? It's like, now, you know what? I actually know what was wrong with me. I had FOMO. I was in trades and I knew I couldn't get back into the trade. I didn't have the skills to get back in. So once I had an entry, I would be so afraid I couldn't get back in again. I would hug the trade forever. It was like, you know, fear was controlling my every move. Now that I know, see, I didn't always identify fear, so I couldn't understand when I was doing something in fear. I thought I was doing something because once I reprogrammed my subconscious mind, I could now identify all my behavior. All your behavior goes back to fear and love. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that weird? Every single thing you do goes back to fear and love. You work out in the morning, it's because you love yourself. Right? And you want to take care of your body. So you do the right thing for yourself. Period. So working out is love. Right? People who cheat on significant others, ruin relationships, they're afraid that person's going to do it to them. So they ruin the relationship. So they ruin the relationship out of fear. Fear is the reason they end up in problems. Why do people steal money? They're afraid they don't have enough. They look at everyone else and then they get nervous, so they steal. People steal because of fear. They don't steal because they're confident and feel amazing. If you were feeling amazing and confident, you know God would provide so much to you, you wouldn't have to steal. You see what I mean? So anyone that's scheming is scheming on themselves, number one. They don't know that, but they are. Because they're not building anything that's sustainable. Yeah, when you steal from others, you cannot build sustainability. It's impossible. All right? So we keep pushing every day. And again, right now, if you really were keen on Zcash and you wanted to make some gains, I'd use like the 30-minute, maybe even the 1 hour. And I'd be waiting for the 21 to catch price again. This might go parabolic though for a while. You might miss out on continuations there. It may just ferociously move. But eventually it's going to come back to the 21, make a bit of a flag, and there's going to be an entry. See, if you do my system and you use it more and more, you're going to know that this system will provide entries. And then you're not going to trade with fear anymore because you're going to have the knowledge that you don't have to be in every single trade every single time. Aha. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. The knowledge will get you off of the fear, and then the fear you'll stop making bad decisions. So that's why my trading group for $99 a month is amazing. It's like, get rid of the fear. Exchange the fear for knowledge. Join my trading group. Like, let's go. Let me help you. Let me help you change your mindset. Not just your trading education. You need both. You don't just need trading education. You need mindset. The markets are going to take you through a loop. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. Some days you're going to feel like pulling your hair out. How are you going to manage through those situations? The trading group's going to teach you how to do that. There's going to be days where I'm going to be like, hey guys, the market sucks today. Let's go touch grass. And your mentor is going to be, and you're going to be like, you know what? You're going to leave the market. You're going to go touch grass. You're going to come back. You're going to see that the market did chop all day. And you're going to be like, man, what a good time that I didn't get chopped up right now. And I went and rode my bike. You know? Yeah. So important, right? Do not chase green candles. Green candles get you emotional. They make you run in. You'll buy this right here. No stop, thinking it's ripping. Next thing you know, you're closed. Now you don't know what to do. Everyone, 90% of the time I've lost money in leverage trading, it's because I did not use a stop loss. Every time I've aped in, oh, it's above the 200. I got this. There's no way it's going to go against me. And I just threw in a bunch of money in there. I woke up the next morning and then you're down $3,000 and you're like, whoa, what do I do now? And now you have to sit and manage it. I've gotten out of some of them, But I always regretted not using a stop loss every single time. For me personally, every time I didn't use a stop loss, it turned into only like 2 out of 10 times that I make big money. 8 out of 10 times I had to cut off a losing trade because it wasn't managed properly, because I didn't have a plan. So you can do whatever you want. That whole no stop loss stuff, you know, but just be careful. My whole thing is that means you don't have a plan, and that means how else? People that don't use a stop loss, they don't have a stop loss in their regular life, you know. A magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck off the coast of northern Japan on December 8th, prompting tsunami warnings for Hokkaido, Aomori, and Iwate prefectures, with waves expected up to 3 meters high. The quake occurred at a depth of approximately 50 kilometers and was followed by aftershocks, including a 5.5 magnitude tremor. While these were initial reports of power outages and several injuries in Aomori, I don't know how to say it perfectly, no major structural damage or abnormalities at nuclear facilities such as Fukushima, Higashidori, or Onagawa have been detected so far. Regarding, there is currently no reports indicating disruptions to the international trade or global supply chains as a result of the quake. The USGS has issued a yellow alert for economic losses, estimating that losses will be less than 1% of Japan's GDP, with impacts likely localized. A green alert has been issued for fatalities, indicating a low likelihood of casualties. Past events of similar magnitude have typically required only local or regional responses. So there was an earthquake today, a 7.6 in Japan, and there's now tsunami warnings in Hokkaido, Aomori, and Iwate. All right, if I'm probably not saying those correctly, I'm so sorry. Whenever I use a stop loss, it gets hit. So here's the deal. I love this. See what this guy just said? He goes, whenever I use a stop loss, it gets hit right after, and the chart just turns around because your stop loss is too tight. Let me explain. Let's find a flag that broke out. Like here. So there's two people in trading. They find this, let's just say they both find the flag right here. And they both want to trade the flag. Okay? And one guy says, you know what? I'm going to get in here at the middle of the pattern. I'm going to put my stop loss below this low right here. And I'm going to look to go up. Okay? And then there's another guy that says, I'm going to get in right when we get there, or like right here, and I'm going to put my stop loss right at the bottom of the pattern. So you can see both of these trades are similar. They're very similar. And the entries are pretty much the same. But this stop loss is deeper. This guy's willing to lose more than this guy. Now, this guy might put $500 and 5%, you see, might be way less. Now, this guy might put $2,000 and 3% might be more. So, like, the reason why most people are losing their trades is they're putting too much money with too tight a stop loss. Like, you're not ready for a $2,000 trade to risk $200 there. You're ready for a $500 trade to risk $100 down here. So if you keep getting hit off on your stop losses, like this gentleman just said, it's because you're putting too much money in your trades. Your stop losses are too close. You are too greedy. You need to humble up. Your trades need to be smaller. You need to be risking a larger portion of the smaller trade. Like, you need to be risking 100 to 500, not 500 to 2,000, way closer to the trade action. So most people want money to see. This is the reason why people are doing this. I can explain it perfectly. They got a $500 account. They want to double it. That's 64%. They want to turn 500. They want to double the 500 immediately, but they don't want to lose a lot. So they want to put the whole 500 in, and they only want to risk $100. And that's why they get hit for 100, and then it goes all the other way. What if they put in 300 and they only risk $60, and then they don't get stopped and they ended up making 250? They make less than the trade. They risk less, but they actually, if he does 10 of these, he makes 250 10 times. He's up $2,500. The other guy got stopped out every single time. So if you're getting stopped out every single time and your stop losses keep getting hit, they're too close to price action. Like, you're not giving yourself enough room because you're too greedy. Because you're not willing to make small amounts over time. You want big amounts every time. Your greed is forcing you to get stopped out every single time. The second I became a humble trader, because here's the deal. Look at this. Every single day, there's the business of the market maker. Let's just say this is the line of all the people trading. And he's trying to, again, let's just be honest. It is a business. The exchange runs a business. When they catch you out, they take your money, right? They get fees, all that. Now, you think exchange would want everyone to win so they could keep trading. But there's so many people taking a shot every single day, the exchanges don't care. They know that there's a population of billions of people and they're pressed financially. So they have no choice but to try to find other ways to make money. They're always going to keep coming back to the exchange. It's kind of crazy, right? So the idea is this. So all the greedy people have their stop losses here and here, 100x. But what if I'm using like 40x and I have my stop loss here? The odds of me getting hit are lower because they're going to take out all the greedy people first. So the humble traders tend to win. That's why I keep winning a lot. You see Sam won again, Sam won again, Sam won 300, Sam won 500, Sam 1,000, the king of 3%. How does he do it? Because I'm not as greedy as everybody else. I'm a multimillionaire that's happy with making $500 a day. I'm a multimillionaire that knows that every single time I don't lose is a day I win actually. Everyone wants to keep hitting, but they don't have a constant way to win. They have these like ups, quick ups and quick downs. That's not sustainable, everybody. And the problem is they read stories about one or two traders that hit big and then they get this angst to hit big. They see one person make $1 million, a few $100,000 a trade, and they want to start doing that now. That person's probably worth 50 mil. When he loses $100,000, it's a way smaller deal than if you're worth, $200,000 and you lose $100,000. So don't compare yourself to others. You don't know their net worth. You have no idea what their true trading potential could be, where they sit, where they stand. Remember, if you keep losing your trade, you're putting your stop losses too close to the bone. You're risking too much. You need to be far more humble about your trading. You're not there yet. You think you should be making 500 a day. You should be lucky with $50 a day. I'm sorry, but this is the facts. The guy that makes $50 a day, let's be honest, at the end of the month, that's a good amount of money, man. Right? $1,500, right? I'm just saying, you have to remember, if you made $1,500 this month, you're better than 95% of traders. Most people are losing all their money. Everyone keeps forgetting this. At the end of the month, I only made 1,000. They compare themselves to 2 or 3 big traders and some good P&Ls. Everyone, that's a very small percentage of the world. Okay? What I did, how I 100x my Bitcoin, or 90x my Bitcoin now, right? It's impossible. Most people would never do that. They would have sold at 20x, 30x, but I didn't care about money. I cared about idea. I fell in love with the idea of what Bitcoin did and how it could procure my wealth over time. I didn't fall in love with just short-term gains. I wasn't trying to make $1 million. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to obtain wealth over time. And that's still my goal. I'm going for 100 BTC by 2030. My goal is to have 100 Bitcoin by 2030. Okay? I'm getting closer and closer every single year to my goal. I'm not ever going to disclose how many Bitcoins I have, but I definitely don't have 100, but I definitely don't have 10. I'll tell you that. All right? So you could do the math, but it is, and I shouldn't even disclose, right? That's why I got to say strapped. Crazy. But as God is my witness, all will be well. And I fear no man as I walk through the valley of death, baby. So not a lot of action today. Bitcoin kind of went sideways here into chop. At least it bounced and tried to find a bottom there at 89.6. And now we're kind of in some chop. Again, I'm showing you how to use the small time frames to build into the bigger ones. It's not an easy process. Most people are going to get confused by this. Not going to understand it. That's okay. If everyone understood this, then we wouldn't be able to take money from the masses. As much as I believe I can turn anybody into a profitable trader, I'm sure there's a few people that just won't listen no matter what I tell them. So I believe I can take 80% of people into profitable traders. I don't know if I can take every single person. I know my system's amazing, but I can't force you to be disciplined. I can't force you to keep pushing. I can't force you to fight through your mental ups and downs, right? Some people are going to get taken over by their emotions. Trading will do that to you. That's why you need a good night's sleep. You need to be in nature. You need to be resetting a lot. As a trader, I learned myself to become especially in leverage. All right. And everyone says, how do you keep your energy up? Where do you get the energy? Well, from working out. I worked out this morning. It definitely gave me a huge amount of energy. Working out revamps the body. It says the body's going to go through a big fight, so the body finds some good energy to fight with you. And it says, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And that creates a push. You got to understand, unless the 1 minute gets back above the 200, this is just a fake rally. This could be a shoulder, a head, or right shoulder. I'd stay on that 5 minute idea here that we could just be bear flagging. See, now we're touching the 21. So look, what I do is I get rid of the smaller time frame work. And we just focus. I mean, that's a symmetrical triangle, which is 50-50. And in a bearish trend, this tends to break down. Again, this is a 50% pattern. You're back at a 50. I don't like 50% patterns. I like patterns that have a higher probability of breaking out. This I know is now a 50-50 pattern. It can go either way in the next hour. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 5-minute candles. You're either going to dump down to 89.7 or you're going to pump up to 91.3. I don't think it's worth trading this. In my humble opinion, I'm all set. You get it? Monday, 50% pattern. That's not my style. That's not my strategy. Tuesday, like if this was Tuesday and we show up on the channel and you see that we're above the 200 touching the 21 in a flag, I'm long in that. That played out. That was the long we gave last night that did play out. I took profits this morning for $400. I showed my entire group. I was up. And this is what you get if you're in the trading group. Like last night, I was up $4,000. Up 4K. Like, it's crazy. This one trade was up 3,300. These two trades combined were up about 7,750, right? 33,750 is $4,300. It's $550, right? I sold one for 400. I sold the other week's trade for like 180. So I took 570 off the table and I kept the other trade open because it's a long-term idea on the 3-day chart. So that's kind of where I sit. Like I still took profit. I've already made 575 realized profits today. We'll see where it goes. You know, and I'm not done. I start trading again later on today in the afternoon. I usually take 12 to 5. I am not going to be live trading. It's just not something I do. That looks bearish to me. I've told you my strategies tell me we're in chop and more likely to dump, but I don't know. All I know is I like to take these. If I don't see this, I don't trade it too hard. So I have a beautiful model that I can find. Like there's the model again. The 21 was touching above the 200. It told you to go and we got the pump. It's there right there too. Again, yesterday, that was a beautiful model. We made a flag. The stochastics curved. The 21 was touching above the 200. We got the pump. This is how I've seen it happen so many times that now I know what happens. Look, there it happened. There, the 21 was above the 200. We got a pump. Same thing happens here. The 21 touches below the 200. We got the dump. Here, the 21 touch above the 200 in a flag. You can see it. I don't need a big move. I figured out a way to get $100 off a $100 Bitcoin move. Trading $1,000, 1 to 2,000 at 47x leverage, I'm able to basically get whatever Bitcoin gets. So if Bitcoin makes $100, I can make $100. Bitcoin moves 2,000, I can make 2,000. So Bitcoin went from 92.3 up to 94,000. That's a $700 move for me. That only takes, an hour. Let's see. Let's hit shift. If I got in the trade right here, an hour and 55 minutes, and I make $700. I don't have to be in the trades all. And there's my signal right there. I do this all the time. All the time. Constantly. I might do it later on today. If you're in the group, I'm going to find the place. Look, I just said this was likely going to dump, didn't I not? What did it do? It dumped. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm a magician. I'm just showing you that the charts do tell you what's going to happen. You just got to start listening to them and stop listening to yourself. You don't know what's going to happen. The charts do, though. If you start entering your emotions and thought process into it all without, that's why I say think, but don't think too hard. Whenever I think out the box, it's like, well, what are you thinking? Are you coming up with your own strategies, tips, and tricks? Are you following the charts? I love when I watch people talk about liquidity in the trading group. Oh, I watched this. There's the funding rate. It's like they talk all this stuff, and then they can't short the 200 when it loses when the 1 hour loses the 200. It's like, what? It's like, dude. So it's one step at a time every single time. And there's all these fake gurus and people out here with like 1 or 2 strategies, but they can't. The other day I saw this guy, the one strategy I teach. And he overviews the strategy with such fluff, it was insane. He was like, we wait for the daily open at 9:30. We set our 15, like this is what he told us to do. Let's take a look. He says, go to the NASDAQ. Some of it was true, but most of it was nonsense. So he goes, go to the 15-minute. Map out your daily highs and lows for the day before. Like, it's like, what? So this is what he did. I mean, I guess it's kind of like he mapped out this area. He mapped out this area. He says if we lose this area, he shorts. If he gains that area, he longs, and that's all he does every day. He maps out the 15-minute time frame, the high and the low, okay, before 9:30 open. And when 9:30 opens, if he breaks the low, he shorts the market immediately. And if he breaks the high, he longs the market immediately. Very simple strategy. I mean, hey, that could work out over time if that's what you do every day. You just got to be really consistent with what you do. Understand? Let's talk about the NASDAQ. Remember the NASDAQ? Sammy called the reversal. Back down here, I called the bounce. Look at that. This is on November 21st. Remember when I longed the S&P? Remember when I told everyone look for the move? Now, two things can happen. We could make a right shoulder and collapse. This could end up being like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and we could collapse. I have to be open-minded. We'd end up somewhere back at the 200 moving average, and then we'd have to rethink the cycle. But what's more likely to happen is they're going to print this money. They're going to cut this rate, but we're going to get the dump first, right? And then 2 days after the rate cut, we get the bounce. December 12th, we get tight. We dump into FOMC. That makes sense because we need to pump after it, so we got to dump first. So like I see this happening, getting tight, and then a breakout like Christmas. And then the week after Christmas into January, we get a rally. The rally ends somewhere January 20th. Let's see if this plays out, folks, but this is what I see happening for the NASDAQ. Same for the S&P futures. And you could say I got super lucky with my S&P call when I called the bottom of the S&P right there. I guess I'm lucky, right? But I've made these calls many times before, so am I lucky or is it just, you know? I mean, you were oversold on the daily and the 3-day. The 3-day was oversold. You were below the dotted line in stochastics. You even had hidden bullish divergence because look, this swing up, but this swung down sharp. That's hidden bullish. Told you you're going to break this high before you break that low. So again, I see a pullback because we got to the top of the channel. It definitely told me we're going to pull back. But it just tells me that we're going to just stay inside this progression. So yes, a little pullback here on the S&P makes sense. How deep is the question? How deep is your love? Right? So this is what I see happening for Bitcoin. Why did my line just disappear? That was a bit weird. Huh. I've never seen that happen before. I just disappeared. So yeah, I see tightness and then a big pump for the S&P coming. Like we're pumping, it says we pump somewhere between, somewhere between December 14th and 16th. That's what I see happening. Bitcoin back at 89,750, dumping out the flag as we talked about. And they're hitting the target that we just discussed it would hit on the 5-minute time frame. I mean, just like, because these are 50-52 patterns and they didn't look amazing. So it was likely going to dump. Is that an amazing trade? No. Would you be like, oh my God, I took a short? I mean, okay. It's volatile today and we don't have the movement we should usually get, so be careful. All right. Shout out to everyone here, and let's take a look at the fan funding and see what's happening with the fan funding today. Wow, we got a lot more than I thought. Hope is for the 786 to hold. Vetty Goat. Prayers for DJ Armin Van B. Man, thank you for saying that. He was getting that like something with his blood, or he was in the hospital. Love to all the lifers. Thank you, Sam, for your training. God bless you, Marcus. We appreciate you. And it looks like you have a UFO coming out of the sky there. I love that. That was the best motivation sent. I love watching you. God loves you, and we all love you. Thank you. Today was amazing. It was electric. Most inspiring guy ever. Watch you for years. Now you've changed my life with your teachings, both crypto and non-crypto. Congrats on 100K. Well deserved. Thank you. Sam, can you have a look at Glimmer? We'll take a look at Glimmer right away. Thank you for asking. So we were able to kind of give you the likely probabilities for Bitcoin today. And I can also find when there's like, you know, good price action and tough price action. And so whenever I look at anything, I got to zoom out. Otherwise, I have no idea what's happening. So like everything, Moonbeam, Glimmer, you name it, they're in the dumps. These coins are the lowest they've ever been. Can you believe that? All coins are demolished. They've been in bear markets for a year now. Like, forget Bitcoin. These things have been, ever since Trump coin came out, all coins have been in a bear market. Like, that was it. That was a black swan. I have to be honest. It was a black swan. Say whatever you want. I'm not biased. I'm not against it. You know, I voted for the guy. It just, come on now. That was crazy what happened. It was a liquidity grab for just me. You know, look at me and my coin and forget everyone else. Someone should have sat there and explained to him that that wasn't the best for But, it made the Trump family billions of dollars. So they extracted billions of dollars from the crypto community. Okay. Hey, I guess business is business, man. You know what I mean? He's a businessman. He doesn't care who gets rocked. Like, that's business, right? I mean, and again, you can't really have a heart. If you're a big businessman, you got to just keep moving. You can have ethics in the way you do things, but there's people are going to get crushed, man. When you're in business, someone's going to get crushed. It is what it is. If you don't have that viciousness to push, I mean, you're going to get viciously pushed out. It just is. That's business, man. I don't know. Glimmer's at the lowest it's ever been. You're basically hoping and praying that the whole ecosystem can come back. I don't know, man. So you got to really believe in this and buy the bottom. For me, I don't. I'm all set. Just too risky for me. I'm not involved. I don't like this type of risk. When we're in a multi-year bear market and I'm buying projects I really care about, that's completely different. I'll buy the downside all the time, but not now. This is just, to me, this is just far too risky. Like, people buying this right now thinking they're getting it on the lows, I think that's just insane. I really do. No strength. You got above the 1 hour 200 moving average. You've gotten a bit of a, see what's happening to people is because the prices are so low, a little pump is getting them excited. It's up 77%, but think about it, it's never been this low before. The lower coin goes, the smaller it has to move. When it's a penny, it's got to move to 2 cents to make 100%. If they dump it all the way down to 0.0001 and it loses 100%, it loses 100% of its value. It only has to go from 0.01 to 0.2 to make 100% now. So now it goes from 0.1 to 0.17 and it's made 70%. I mean, come on now. That's kind of what you're seeing here. This is 2 cents, so you got to give it a little more credit, but dang. And then it's just dumping right back down. If you're bullish on it, you'll look at your 15-minute time frame. You'll see that, and you want to see that this bounces up and stays above the 200 moving average. You're going to want to look for this to elongate and consolidate. See, those are my two favorite words, elongation and consolidation. And distribution. What is distribution? Well, we distribute price action. For instance, we come up, we wreck the shorts. We come down, we wreck the longs. We wreck the shorts, and we distribute price action. That's distribution. Up in both sides until we get into a tight channel. Boom. Explosion from the distribution. I wouldn't touch, that's, if I was watching Glimmer, this is how I would watch it. And I'd have alert on the 15-minute time frame. It would have to make a right shoulder for me. See, you have to really zoom in there to see it in its entirety. 1 week in the group and almost a year of watching you every day have made me better trader than I've been in the last 3 years. Love you, Sam. See? 1 week in the group and a year of watching. And he's way better off than he's ever been. 100%. You got to pay attention. I'm toying with the idea of shorting the 1 hour if we confirm this close below the 200 MA. Stops at the top of the last wick. Just an idea. I've been looking at that. Every time I do it, it does something funny. So weird. Look, now it's attempting the double bottom. So this man said to short the 1 hour because you have all this support here. Bounce, bounce, bounce. I just don't know. That's not a great idea. I'm expecting it to bounce back to the top. I'm expecting eventually, somehow, some way, we bounce back up here. We do this. I'm expecting chop for the next 2-3 days into FOMC. It just makes the most sense. The market's going to get tight. People are going to start not doing anything. They're not going to short. They're not going to long. They're going to wait for Wednesday. And I see that happening I just see that happening. So couldn't drive the Lambo the last 2 days. It was raining. I'm not taking that thing out in the rain. So it's been been a little sad. No, I'm just joking. But it is a pretty cool thing. Once you get it, you want to be in it all the time. It's even just the smell of the leather, man. It's just like, wow. It's like, what? Anyway, so yeah, I see tightness for Bitcoin. And I don't see any drastic moves to be made right now. And if anything, it looks like the trend's still not your friend if you're a bull. Yeah, you could be making this flag now. Still looks more like a bear flag than a bull flag, right? With a measured move. Sorry, I want to pull this down, not that down. With a measured move of the flag, right? So it kind of looks like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there too if you zoom in. See shoulder, head, right shoulder. I see bearishness for Bitcoin at the present moment in time. You might be spot on with your 1 hour short, man. You are below the 200. It tells you there's a dump that could dump. You just have a lot of chop in this area. A point of control. Seems like there's consolidation. The stochastics are getting low. I'd keep watching the 5 minute and the 1. I'd be looking for the 1 to cross the 200. If the 1 crosses the 200, look for the flag. That could start the reversal back on the 1 hour time frame. So right now, this will change, but right now I see this making a bear flag and dumping down. Maybe that changes, and I'll keep you involved in the trading group. I'll keep you privy to what I'm seeing. But for now, it's just kind of what I see happening. Okay. And there's some altcoins that are hot. I put them out to the trading group. I would pay attention to those, but I'd also be watching Bitcoin like a hawk. So, fear and greed. Let's take a look at it. I don't use the one here. It's at 24. I use the one at alternative.me. I've been using this one for years, so I can't just switch because it kind of like they're not the same. I don't know where CoinMarketCap got its data. I know this one has been spot on for me for years. I use this one. Alternative.me, the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. I don't know how we do it, but we made it all the way to 12 o'clock yet again. $41 in chat revenue, 644 likes. Wow, we had way more people on the channel than yesterday, but we have the same amount of likes. So yesterday's people were far more intense than this group for whatever reason. But if you hit that like button, you help the show expand. You help more people learn about the moving averages. You help more people learn about overbought, oversold. More people get free knowledge and don't have to get ripped off by nonsense. So hit the like button if you want to help people. If you want to show people love, if you want to help expand knowledge throughout the world, hit that like button. Help me help other people by hitting that like button. It's the best thing you can do. It's the freest, easiest way to be karma, to use karma in your life. So do that. Hit that like button. Get it moving. We love you. All right. So yeah, and we also found opportunity. We found some places where there could be some movement. So just be ready and be careful. And pay attention. This looks like look, shoulder, head, kind of right shoulder. See, this looks like it's breaking down. But only time will tell. I don't trade Monday morning, so it doesn't matter what happens to me. I'm okay. And imagine that. Imagine being free. Being like, I don't trade this. It's amazing. Right? Everybody, I love you. I'm jumping out for the day. I'll be in the trading group, and I'll be rocking it with everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. If you like what I taught, you like what I put out, and you want to understand it a bit more, sign up for my class. Hit the QR code right there. We teach class the last Saturday of every single month. Sign up today to my class. It'll blow your mind. I can't wait. Check it out. Okay. Hey, Sam, can I have a look at Glimmer? We did all that. I'm just checking out AMP, baby, AMP. Next Zcash, not financial advice, Sam. Let's take a look at AMP. Just for you. You did send in a super chat. I appreciate that. And there's no N in there. AMP, my friend, the next Zcash. I mean, I like Zen as the next Zcash, but it doesn't seem to want to. Last time we put out AMP was there. It did make a little pump. This thing looks horrible, man. I'm all set right now. Maybe I'll reanalyze it, but I don't know. It looks bad. It's below multi-moving averages. The volume doesn't look good. I'm all set. Maybe it pumps out of nowhere, and maybe you're correct. But right now, I'm just not. I'm not feeling it. I'm so sorry. Level, I love you. I don't want to be rude. I hope I'm never rude to anybody, but I'm just not feeling it. Look, the 15 minutes. Just look at that. That's chop. I mean, it is in that flag like a lot of the coins I talked about, and maybe it gets tight and breaks out, but the volume's just not there for me personally. How do I know the volume's not there? Just by looking at candles, you can tell when candles are very, very wicked. That means the order book had to stretch a lot to go up and down, and there wasn't a lot of connectivity. When candles are full and less wicks and full, there's a lot of connectivity. The order book is strong. You can tell the order book is weak just by looking at the candles. And I can tell when there's weak volume and when you don't want to trade something because that's light. I need big volume for me to trade. Like I can't swing trade 10 grand, 20 grand on AMP. Not right now. So maybe you could make gains on it. I cannot. So for the younger, people starting out, or even just the old, whoever's just starting out with smaller portfolios, possibly for you, but for me, I can't touch that. Yeah. So it doesn't look too enticing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate it. You can go to CryptoLifer.com to join the trading group. CryptoLifer.com. Find out about me. Hit the About section. Learn more about who I am. And jump on in. We did an amazing Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale, but these prices are still amazing and affordable compared to the rest of the market. So they're here for you, waiting. $270 for 3 months, $999 for the year. It's basically less than $3 a day to change your life. I don't take days off. I'm going to show you how to keep pushing. I love you. I care about you. And I can't wait to show you what I can teach you. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being amazing. And thank you for making this show awesome. We have almost 1,000 likes today, which is huge. 689. That's awesome. Shout out to the concurrent viewers. Shout out to everyone here. Please keep hitting that like button. It helps even after the stream. If you're watching alone and I'm not here live, hit that like button. Keep sending good karma my way. Keep sending the energy my way. That like shows that you are full of love, you're positive, and you want to send positivity to the channel. All right. Someone says XCN pumping. Really? Oh, come on. That's a pump for you? Hey, at least a 5-minute did something, right? I get it. Better than nothing. 05 to 06. Everyone, I love you. I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow for a beautiful, amazing live stream. This is FOM week. Be careful. Watch your capital. And make sure you make it to the end of the week. I love you all. I'm not a financial advisor. Another guy saying this should be taken as financial advice. But I'm the guy that shows up every single day and goes over the charts and the market. So I love you. Thank you so much. The secret to success is getting started. So keep going. I love you all. Be amazing. Thank you.